Hey guys, I'm RNG Gamer. I play all my games randomly. And have you ever been in like a video game store just looking at the new releases and you see some game you've never seen before and immediately it pops into your head, dude, this game's gonna be like freaking rare, or this game's gonna be hard to find one day? That happens to me all the time. And I pick up the games because I don't want to spend more money later. I'm not looking to flip them, I'm just looking to play them. And I don't want to like have to pay $150 to play some game 10 years down the road when I can pick it up now for cheap. So here are 13 times I picked up a game because I was afraid it was going to be more expensive later. Was I right? Was I wrong? I don't know. I actually haven't even looked at the prices, so we're going to be discovering it together.
Haven't you bought thousands of dollars of games from limited run games for this exact reason?
Yes, because that's their whole freaking business model. And we're not going to count them. And we're not going to count any companies like them. These are all standard retail releases that you could just walk into a store and find. First up, we have a game on the Xbox 360. It's a tactical RPG put out by Atlas. And everything about it screamed to me that this game was going to be hard to find one day and it's going to be expensive. It's Operation Darkness. You can see what the gameplay footage looks like below. I haven't played this yet. It's been in the backlog forever. But I remember seeing this at GameStop all the freaking time. And I just kept waiting for the price to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And I waited till it finally bottomed out. And then I waited for a buy two, get one free sale. And I grabbed it. And I just knew it was going to be valuable one day. So was I right? I paid $13.50 for Operation Darkness. And according to GameEye, right now it's worth 67 bucks. So that was a good deal. I was glad I picked it up. It is kind of rare. It's appreciated over time, so I'm thankful I got this and that I was right about it. This is one that I bought at the same time. It was another one of the games in the buy two, get one free deal, and it's another one I knew that was going to be really rare and valuable one day. I just knew it. It's another strategy RPG, again by Atlas. It's Spectral Force 3. I have not played this one either. They're right next to each other in the backlog. I'm glad I picked this one up. I thought it was going to be the rarer of the two games, actually. I'm looking forward to playing this one, but I don't know if I did as well on this one as the last one. So let's see. How much did I pay for it? This was the same price as Operation Darkness. I paid $13.50 for it. How did I do? Well, according to GameEye, this one's only worth $29. So I basically like doubled my money. I wouldn't say a $29 game is very rare and valuable. I have a feeling both of these have not reached their full potential yet. The Xbox 360 is still like a sleeper console. It's the budget console right now you want to get your games on. So now would be the time to kind of like start picking them up. This is an RPG, once again, from a series that I've never played. I know the first one is on the PlayStation 2 and I don't have it. I'm looking for it. I have not played this one either. I picked this one up a little bit after the Xbox 360 kind of died down, and I remember having to buy it on eBay, and I paid more for it than I was expecting. It's Magna Carta 2, and I love the artwork on this. Like I said, I haven't played it. I'm looking forward to it. How much did I spend on this game? I paid $25 and I bought it on eBay. Did I do well on it? I don't know. $25 for a game on eBay around that time for an Xbox 360 game was kind of like crazy. You could pick up Xbox 360 games for like $2 and $3 everywhere. But that was kind of like the going rate, and I was afraid it was going to be more expensive later. So let's see if it was. All right, it's gone up a little bit. It's at $32 right now. So only a $7 increase over maybe the last 10 or 12 years. That's not too great. It seems like it's holding value. So it didn't go up as much as I thought it had. That's okay. It went up a little bit. It didn't lose value, so that's good. Let's talk about some PS4 games. NIS America, or Nippon Ichi, they put out a lot of games that look like they're going to be really rare and valuable, and sometimes they are, and sometimes they just hang out at like 10 bucks forever. I don't pick up all their releases. They're kind of hit or miss. It's a lot of RPGs, a lot of anime stuff, and sometimes I love it and sometimes I just kind of don't. This one though, I got like a sense that it was going to be really hard to find later and valuable. I don't know what it was about it, something about like the art direction of it, but I had to grab it. I went to buy it off Amazon and it was sold out. I went to buy it from GameStop and it was sold out. I ended up having to buy it off eBay and I paid a little bit over retail. I paid $75.47, and it is The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. And this is the limited edition, and it's still sealed. I have not played this one. So many games I have not played in my backlog. I'm getting through them, I promise. But this one does look really interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I don't want to open this copy. I wish I could find somebody that had an open copy and I could trade them out of it. So did I do okay on this one? I'm going to guess that I did pretty well on this one. I don't know. Let's check. We paid 75 bucks. How much is it worth? $245. Even open, it's worth like $130. So that was I was right on that one for sure. I'm thrilled. I was afraid like all these were going to be like $3 more than I was expecting. But this one I was right. It definitely went way up. That's awesome. Here's another PS4 game. This one's from Spike Chunsoft. And I was sure nobody was going to buy this game and nobody had ever heard of it and nobody ever played it. And to this day, I haven't seen really anybody that mentioned it. That could be a good thing because it becomes rare and valuable. It could be a bad thing because like nobody's aware of it and they don't want it. Glad I grabbed this one. I paid $36.71 for it. And it is 428 Shabuya Scramble. And I believe this is like a live action FMV puzzle game. You can see the, not puzzle game, but like a murder investigation game or something like that. I don't know. It's a mystery game. You can see the gameplay, if there is gameplay below it. Anyway, I was sure this was going to be valuable one day. It might still be valuable. It's still sealed. So how did I do? It's worth 45 bucks. So it's just kind of like set at the same value it's been at. So this one, it was kind of a wash. We'll find out later if it goes up in value. I hope it does. I knew about this one before it came out, and it was going to be a GameStop exclusive, and it was going to be physical. It was released on the same day as Assault Suit Lanos. And each GameStop in the country basically got like one copy of each game. And they promptly opened both of them to put them on the shelf and sell them as new. There are like no sealed copies of this game I've ever seen. I don't have a sealed copy. I picked up both those games. They were $20 at retail. And I think I used a coupon on mine or had some trade-in value or something like that. I was glad when I grabbed this one. I did beat it. Interesting game. It's Lumo. And I paid about 15 bucks for it. So this is one of those like old school isometric sort of puzzle games you would have seen on like the ZX Spectrum, that kind of feel. It was challenging. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed my time with it. I was glad when it was over though, because it was, like I said, it was a bit hard to get used to that kind of game, and it's hard to come back to those kind of games if you haven't played them in a while or if you've never really played many of them before, as is the case with me. So how did I do with Lumo? Let's check. Unfortunately, Lumo is at $11, so it's lost value since I bought it, which is really surprising. This is not one that you hear about very often, and it got really good reviews. Seems like it would be highly sought after, but I was wrong. This is a remake of a game I never played before, and I always wanted to play it, so when they announced a physical version was coming out at GameStop on the PS4, I had to grab it. And it's The Secret of Mana. Now on release day, I went to GameStop and they were sold out. I went to every GameStop in town, they were all sold out. I went to GameStop online and it was sold out. So I went on freaking eBay and I bought a copy from a scalper because I knew this was going to be rare and valuable one day. I just knew it in my heart. Funny thing is that scalper had like 750 copies of the game. So it makes me think that GameStop was scalping their own games online. Conspiracy theory there for you. Does anybody remember this or know about this? I feel like that's what was happening. I paid $45 for it. I think the retail price of it was $30. So I paid 50% over the retail value. Because I just knew it was gonna be like a $200 game. Just wait a year or two, it'll be like a $200 game. They went ahead and reprinted this game into the ground. So I'm pretty sure it didn't do very well for me. But let's see. What is the Secret of Mana on the PS4? Still sealed? I hope it's at least $40. Let's check. It's 25 bucks. It lost almost half the value, which is a real bummer. I still haven't played it. I have the collection on the Switch. I don't know that I want to play the remake. I'd rather just kind of play the original now that I have it on the Switch, so we'll see. Bummed about that one. Here's one from Atlas. I saw it. I knew immediately that this game was going to be sought after one day, but I bought it new at retail and I opened it up and it was $50. It's one of like the must-have games on the PS3. It's 3D Dot Game Heroes. And yes, I have played this and I have beaten it. And I thought it was a lot of fun. So this game has an amazing art style. I've never really seen anything like it with the pixelated like tilt shift look to it. And everybody loves this game. It's highly sought after. I did go to the Southeast Game Exchange in the middle of COVID, like after everybody got vaccinated and we thought it was okay to go back outside again till the second wave hit. And this game was up over like $130, $150. I don't think the game's still that high, but I bet it's still over $100 or right at $100. Let's see. Holy crap. The game is all the way down to 40 bucks. I actually lost money on it. I can't believe that. I was sure 3D Dot Game Heroes was going to be like $90. It was $150 just a couple years ago. Or like right at it. That's insane. I can't believe that. I'm shocked. I was sure it was going to be like 80 or 90 bucks. I wonder why it went down so much. Something crazy. They must have reprinted it somewhere that I don't know about. Man, that's bizarre. I wasn't expecting that. This is one of the rarest games on the PS3. It is. It just straight up is. It's a Japanese and PAL only release. The release is primarily like a Blu-ray release with several short films, one of which won the Academy Award for the short film that year, or for animated short, I guess. What the deal is with this is it's like a collaboration between a bunch of different Japanese visual artists, and they included a video game in that from Suda 5.1. The collection of short animated films is called Short Piece, and the game on this compilation is Rinko Tsukagime's Longest Day, and here it is. I've never really seen anything like this, like a PS3 game that's primarily a like Blu-ray box set that has one little like mini game in it. Anyway, it got a physical release, and I was like, this is gonna be impossible to find one day. I don't know, the game was pretty decent. I beat it, I watched it. The anime shorts were really good. I liked them a lot. Some have some incredible art style on them. They're really neat. So I paid 30 bucks for this and I had to import it. So how did I do? I have a feeling like this is one of those games that's so obscure that nobody knows they want it yet. But maybe one day it'll be very, very valuable. I don't know. Let's see. It's worth $58. So it appreciated a fair amount. It doubled in value, which is good. It's on the right trend. This is a rare game, so rare games should have a little bit more value to them. Here's another one from Atlas. Who would have thought that Atlas would put out limited games? This is an RPG on the PS3. It just seemed like it would be really hard to find one day. It kind of is. I only ever saw it in one store, and when I did, I picked it up. And I paid 25 bucks for it. It's Tears 2 Tiara 2. Man, that's a lot of alliteration. I did play this. I got about like 10 hours into it. I was just not having a good time with it. I don't think it's a very great RPG, but you know, it was okay. I'm sure there's some people out there that absolutely love it, but I've never really heard anybody mention it. So how did I do? 25 bucks. What's it worth now? It's only worth $40. Still, it's going up. It's trending in the right direction. I feel like I've been right about most of these. They have been trending up, so I think my instincts have been good. Let's do some games on the Nintendo Wii. Nobody talks about the Wii anymore. I think that the Wii was not a great console for gamers, but it did have some bangers on it, and it deserves a little bit of love. So let's talk about some of the games that I thought were going to be really good. So there were 3 games for the Wii that came out in Japan, and they got ported to Europe, but for some reason Nintendo of America didn't want to bring them here. And they had already been translated to English for the UK release in Europe. And there was this big petition from a lot of people in the United States to get these games finally released here, and it was called Project Rainfall. And Nintendo of America begrudgingly went ahead and did it. And they basically stated that they were going to take pre-orders and they were only going to print copies for the pre-orders and there were going to be no more. Well, the first game was Xenoblade Chronicles. Here it is, and I just have the reversible cover turned around, but there it is. I like the way that looks. Paid $50 for this. There was some controversy with this where GameStop printed it, they published it. The price jumped up. It got up over $200. GameStop was reprinting the game and selling it for like $150 and $175 and holding copies back to limit the supply. We know what's happened now. It's been reprinted a bunch of times. There have been additional reprints, and the only way to know if the original one is the original print is if you have the art book that was the pre-release bonus. So how did I do? Is it worth $200? I doubt it. Let's check. This one's at 25 bucks, so it's lost half of its value since I opened it. That was my daughter over there gasping at the value. I'm shocked at that one. It's because it's had so many re-releases, I'm sure. So I was right about this one, and if it had not been reprinted into the ground, we would have had like a $200, $300 game here. The next release from Project Rainfall was another RPG, The Last Story. I played this one, I really enjoyed it. I love the box it comes in, and it's been on display since it came out, like on my shelf. I paid $50 for it, new. Like I said, it was $50 when it came out. It did come in this like collector's edition. That was the only way it was released at first. But just like Xenoblade Chronicles, I think it received several reprints from GameStop. This one did not go up as high, but it did creep up there. So how's it doing now? Let's check. It's at 76 bucks, so it has gone up. It has not been reprinted outside of those GameStop reprints on the Wii. Who knows? Maybe it'll get a reprint on the Switch. I know some people are kind of clamoring for it, but thus far, not so much. It's not a wallet buster yet, but it looks like it's trending in that direction. Now, the last one in the Project Rainfall series was Pandoras Tower. This was not an RPG. It was more of like a Devil May Cry scavenger hunt game. I did play it. I did not finish it. I got stressed out with the time limits in the game, but it's on my list to replay. So I'll give it another shot here sooner or later. This one was $40 new. I don't know if this one got any reprints. I'm not sure if it did. I don't think it did on the Wii. I know it hasn't gotten reprinted anywhere else. So maybe GameStop learned from their previous mistakes. How did it do? How did Pandoras Tower do? It's up to $75. It's almost doubled in value. So that's pretty good. This looks to be the most valuable, really, of the 3 Project Rainfall games, because it was the cheapest at $40 and it's up to $75. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. I would have thought The Last Story was the most valuable one, but I was wrong. So there were 13 games that I assumed were going to be valuable and rare one day and more expensive than I wanted to pay for them, and was I right? A few of them went like way up. I did lose a little bit of money on a couple of them where I was wrong. Are there any games like this that you've ever bought because you were sure they were going to be rare and valuable one day, and you're just like, I got to get it now, like FOMO took over? I mean, limited run games and Strictly Limited and Red Art Games, all those companies, they like thrive on this business model. So obviously, enough people feel this way for that emotion to like support an entire industry, right? People want what they want, and nothing's going to stop them, and they'll pay more than it's really worth to get it. So leave down in the comments if there are any games that you bought basically speculating on, and let me know if you'd like to see another one of these videos. I probably had enough games to do like 5 of these videos. I really just walked around one corner of the room to pick these games out. So let me know if you want to see another one of these, and I'll do it for you. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you liked the video and you haven't subscribed already, please do that if you want to see more of me. And then click the bell notification so you know when the new videos come out. They come out every single Saturday. And give me a like, that really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And leave me a comment, I answer like every one of them. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the channel members. You can see their names on the screen right now. If you would like to get your name on the screen, you can click join down below, or you can find me on Patreon if that's your deal. You get access to the videos early, you get access to exclusive member videos, and you get that for only 99 cents If you want to spend a little bit more, there's a lot of awesome perks you can get on top of that. So thank you so much for staying around, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.